Hi, welcome back. So in the previous video, we created this positive test data. Now we need to enter all the valid inputs to check whether we are able to register or not. So we'll write down the first test case, that is test case RAG PS 1.1, where TC is test case, RAG is registration, PS is a positive scenario, and it is the first test case, so that is 1.1. So what we'll do, we need to check whether we are able to register or not, right? So we will enter positive valid user ID, valid password, valid confirm password, email, alternate email, mobile address, right? We'll enter all the positive fields, all the valid inputs, and then we will press submit button, and then we'll see whether we are able to register or not. Okay. Now if we are able to register, okay, uh, is it done? Have we tested all scenarios? No. Why? Because we have initially we will test with Ocean India password. We will be testing with these fields, that is Ocean India 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0 and so on. Okay, all are valid input fields, but we also need to check whether we are able to register with all numeric user ID. So that also we need to check. So we'll enter 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 as user ID, and then all these data value. That is, we will keep changing the user ID and keep other fields as it is. Okay. Also, we will check whether we are able to register with a user ID that has characters and underscore. Okay, then we need to check whether we are able to register with something like ocean underscore one and dia, because it contains characters underscore and numbers. So we will need to test registration with all positive possibilities of valid user IDs. Okay, then we need to do the same for passwords. We need to check whether we are able to register with a password that contains all numbers. Then we need to check whether we are able to register with a password that can contain all characters. Okay, because this is a valid password. Now also we need to check whether we are able to register with a password that has characters, special characters, and numeric numbers in it, right? Then we need to test whether we are able to register with a password which is exactly of length 8, because password has minimum length of 8 and maximum 30. So that we need to check. Okay, then we need to check whether this mobile number, or we can enter any mobile number, so whether it is when we enter all mobile numbers as numeric, whether it is working or not. Okay, then in while trying to register each time with positive data, we need to make sure that password and confirm password has to be same, because when we register, password and confirm password are always same. Okay, and email and alternate email has to be different. So if first time you have entered email as taste@oceanindia.com, alternate email has to be taste@oceanindia.co.in. And for the second time, when you taste email and alternate email, if email ID is taste@oceanindia.co.in, then alternate email has to be taste@oceanindia.com. Okay, so please try and register with all positive fields. So for user ID, you can from 2 to 7, we need to try out whether we are able to register with all these valid inputs. For password, we need to check with all these things. For mobile, we have only one possibility. For email, we need to check whether we are able to uh, have two different email, because email and alternate email has to be different. Okay, so please try out all possible valid inputs and make sure whether you are able to register or not. Say, as per example, if you try to create a registration with user ID as test, and if you are not able to register, then you can mention that in the test case file, and you can set the status as fail. Okay, so first you try out all positive scenarios. Okay, so that is it. The first thing that we need to see whether we are able to register or not, and that we will do by entering all positive values in all the fields. Okay, so we won't be only having one test case. Here I have mentioned one example. We have to copy paste this, and we'll just copy paste it. Just a minute. Control C, and we copy paste here. We'll change the test case ID number, and then in the test data, instead of Ocean India, we can have this one, and then try whether you are able to register or not. Okay, and in the end, you need to also check whether you get the message that your registration has been successful. Okay, so we need to keep adding all these test cases, but as a fresher I would recommend that you write each and every test cases. But if you are slowly and gradually, when you get experienced, there's no need to write repetitive test cases. You can just mention uh, the general test case, and the test data you can write down in the comments that the test data is available in the sheet positive test data. Okay, so that is enough. So we have tested whether we are able to register register through the website or not. Okay, so that is the first thing. The second thing that we need to do is check all the negative scenarios. Okay, so in the first case we checked and entered all positive values. Then we need to make sure that negative values should not work. Okay, so negative values should not help us to register through our registration page. Okay, so we'll be doing writing the negative test cases. Okay, so I hope you have liked this video. I'll see you in the next lecture.